So Mary, with a lifetime career in banking and now as a community volunteer and philanthropist, what advice do you have for somebody in the audience who might be just kind of beginning their philanthropic journey?
Great. Thank you, Susan. I'm honored to be here today talking to this great group of women. And you've heard about all the different methods that you can use in giving your money away. So what I'm going to focus on is, who do you want to give the money to? Where do you start when you start to think about the community that you want to impact? And what I'll challenge you to think through is two things. Think about it from your passion. So start with, what's your passion? Where do you want to make an impact on, whether it be the Austin community or a broader community that you're thinking about and you're passionate about? Also think about it as a partnership. This is not just a kind of one and done from my perspective. The partnership part of it is really critical to the nonprofit, to the community, and honestly to your family, because that's where you get that benefit. When you walk away, you think, man, I made a difference today. I fed children, I educated them, whatever. So for me and my family, our passion was around women and children, universities, and community impact. And when we went a little deeper on community impact, it really was three areas. It was food, housing, and safety. So that's kind of where we started, Susan, in this journey.
Thank you for sharing your story. It's so important to hear how thoughtful you've been about not only giving of your time for volunteering, but giving of your treasures as well. So when you think about your own purposes for U&J, and how have you wrestled with some of the issues that Pam talked about, which is the lifetime giving versus the bequests, and how did you kind of go through balancing that, and what have you learned about some of the structural issues that we talked about that might be helpful to you in your family giving?
Right, certainly. We actually deploy all the strategies that have been talked about today. So, and we really think about what it is we're going to give to. So if you start with, do I want this to be restricted money or non-restricted money to the organization? So in other words, a few years ago, for example, we were approached to look at some deep research on trafficking of women in Minnesota and Texas, which for me was my heart. I lived in both places. So that's a restricted gift. The money we gave was for that purpose only, was to do that research. However, when we got involved with Special Olympics, we really got involved on a volunteer basis. And if you're just starting this journey, it's a great way to get involved and learn about the organization. And our son joined us at those events. We went to food banks and we packed grocery bags, and we gave him a sense that not everybody comes home to a house like he had, and not everybody has that safety and security. He needed to see the broader world, not too realistic right away, but that's important. So we also have given in obviously lifetime gifts, but we do a bequest. So we have set up a scholarship at a university. When we're gone, there will be an enduring scholarship that will allow children who can't afford an education to afford an education. So we've tried to really make use of a donor advised fund, the regular giving, a bequest, as our nonprofits need. So that's really what we let drive. And then we answer it out of, I love Sarah's comment about the purses. We have lots of purses, and we just, depending on what our nonprofits need, we go to the various purses.
Awesome. And I love this story about involving your son in this process from earlier years. So that is such an important way to extend this legacy into the next generation that I think a lot of times we don't think about the impact that we have as role models. So I really love that. That's awesome.
Great.
Thank you so much, Mary. Really, really appreciate it, and appreciate all that you do for our nonprofits. It's awesome.
You're welcome.